The story begins by showing the first main character who has a psychopathic personality with the nickname an evil demon, who was roaming the middle of the city looking for prey. And when he succeeded in targeting his prey, this demon deliberately rammed his car into his potential victim. When the victim got out of the car, the evil demon immediately stabbed the victim and just leave it just to get satisfaction. Truly brutal and sadistic.
딴소리 하지 말아요. 제대로
The next day, we are shown the second main character, who has a rude and reckless personality, with the nickname the Rude Policeman, is entering an illegal gambling den owned by the city's most respected gangster boss.
왜 또 이렇게 갑자기 오셨어요? 자, 좀 가세요, 좀.
18만원 모시겠습니다.
자, 상품권 마레깡 현행범으로 체포합니다.
나오세요.
Next, we will be shown the third main character with the nickname Gangster Boss. A man with a sturdy body, and this muscular man has a cruel yet relaxed personality. A few minutes later, the Gangster Boss got a call from his subordinates that he had lost his illegal gambling place raided by the rough police and arrested one of the Gangster Boss's men. Hearing the report, the Gangster Boss immediately called the rude police boss who had arrested his subordinates earlier.
상도한테 가게로 간다고.
Back to the rude policeman, where he got a call from one of his colleagues reporting that something had happened last night, highway murder, which is none other than the murder committed by the evil demon in the opening scene of the film. Even though this rude policeman has a rough and reckless personality, he has quite sharp analysis, so that you can find the slightest clues when you are at the scene of a crime. He assumed it was the perpetrator deliberately crashed his car into the victim's car. On the other hand, the scene shows the gangster boss negotiating with his rival, who is a gangster boss also, because they both want to control the city. Then, after the two gangster bosses had finished chatting, this big gangster boss ordered his men to go home separately because the gangster boss wanted to drive his car alone this time. However, on his way home, his car was suddenly hit by another driver from behind. Here, of course, we already know who this person is, who is none other than the evil devil, where for the first time the evil devil meets a dangerous gangster boss. Immediately, the evil devil stuck his knife at the gangster boss when the gangster boss was about to check his car. Here, there was a quite fierce fight between the two of them. Of course, this surprised the devil. The victim this time was still able to survive, even though the knife had hit his body, and even attacked the evil demon back. Feeling overwhelmed against his victim, the evil devil immediately rushed out of there, leaving the gangster boss behind almost died due to many stabs in his body. As a result of this incident, gangster boss was in critical condition due to losing a lot of blood. Meanwhile, gangster boss's aide immediately attacked their rival gangsters' headquarters because they thought that their boss had been injured by their rival gangster. So there was an external war between members of each gangster. Meanwhile, in another place, the evil demon was treating the wound caused by a stab on the left side of his chest. However, devil's still looking for other victims to eliminate. The next day, the gangster boss, who was being treated in hospital, received a visit from a rude policeman with a purpose to find information about last night's incident. However, the gangster boss did not provide any information at all, and even deliberately covered up the real incident. Because the gangster boss intends to find it himself, and wants to kill the perpetrator with his own hands. Of course, that's him do it to maintain his reputation as the most respected gangster boss in the city. In this situation, indirectly, the rude policeman and the gangster boss compete to get to the perpetrator first. While checking the gangster boss's car, the rude policeman found scratches on the rear bumper of the car. It can be concluded that the person who attacked the gangster boss was an evil demon, the serial killer in the city. Because he was very vengeful towards the perpetrator who stabbed him, the gangster boss deliberately hired the services of a sketch expert to paint his face the perpetrator, based on the characteristics he still remembered that night. From the results of this sketch, it is clear that the perpetrator's face is very friendly and innocent. However, he has character brutal and cruel beyond animals. On the other hand, the evil devil is still looking for his victim, where he killed a truck driver who was calling his family. But this time, the evil demon accidentally dropped his knife on the side of the highway. After carrying out an investigation, the Gangster boss's aide finally found the perpetrator's car, which was usually used for the crime action so far, and now it has been stored and secured at their headquarters. Not only that, the aide also found out a knife used by the perpetrator. However, because he did not have forensic experts and data experts, the gangster boss boldly decided to contact and cooperate with the rude police, where they agreed to help each other to find the evil devil, the serial killer. However, they still compete in terms of who finds the devil first, so he has the right to do whatever he wants at the devil. With the money he had, Boss Gangster mobilized all his members and even hired many people to catch the evil demon. Meanwhile, in another place, the police and several of his men were checking the car belonging to the perpetrator, who stored in the gangster boss's headquarters. As we previously knew, the gangster boss has other evidence, namely, a knife belonging to the evil devil. The gangster boss uses the knife and orders his men to kill their rival, gangster boss. With thus, the murder was considered to be the work of an evil demon. Because of this incident, the rude policeman and several of his colleagues were scolded by their superiors for being too careless in their handling this case. So their superiors ordered them to immediately arrest the evil demon so that the next murder would not happen again. Not long after, the police received a call from one of his colleagues who found that the knife had been used killed the gangster boss last night with the same knife used by the perpetrator in the previous murder. Knowing that this was the gangster boss's plan, the rough police immediately went to the gangster boss's headquarters and a quite fierce fight broke out there. However, because they still had a deal to complete, the rude policemen had to give in and focus on their original goal of joining. Long story short, the gangster boss and his men are attending a death ceremony for their rival gangster leader, where they all gather and drink together. However, none of them realized that it was so the evil demon had mingled with them. Not long after, the evil demon came to the chief gangster's aide and handed him a paper that said, "Someone has used my knife to kill your boss." As a result, this aide was provoked and intended to take revenge on their rival gangster boss. The next day, when the gangster boss and the rude policeman were checking the perpetrator's car, they were suddenly attacked by several rival gang members. Here, the rough cop and the gangster boss have to work together to face them all. In this quite chaotic situation, the rude policeman accidentally injured the gangster leader's aide, thereby causing the aide to died on the spot. Having never committed murder before, the rough cop feels guilty and afraid. Realizing this attitude, the gangster boss told him to get out of there immediately and let me take care of everything. Long story short, the forensic expert finally found the identity of the evil demon using his fingerprints, which was then immediately discovered went to the location where the evil demon lived. When he got there, the rude policeman discovered that the place had been abandoned for 3 months, and managed to find a photo that was very similar to the sketch made by the gangster boss. Quickly, the rude policeman contacted the gangster boss and informed him that the identity of the evil demon had been found. The two of them gathered all the troops and developed a strategy to capture the evil demon. By using the photos found by the rough police, all members were deployed throughout the city to find the whereabouts of the rough police. On one occasion, the gangster boss was seen waiting for the bus while holding an umbrella, because it was raining. At the same time, there was also a girl there who had just finished studying and was waiting for the bus to go home. Because I feel sorry, the gangster boss gave his umbrella to the girl. Not long after, the bus arrived and the girl finally got on the bus to go home. At the same time, apparently inside the bus, there was an evil demon who was sitting relaxed in one of the passenger seats of the bus, While everyone was busy drinking and eating together in the evening, news emerged about the death of a female student, who was none other than the girl who received the umbrella from the gangster boss earlier. It could be concluded that the evil demon was not far from their current location, so the gangster boss ordered his men to carry out a search right away. After combing through several lodging locations in the area, we finally found the place where the devil was staying. The gangster boss and the rude police chased him by car, but because of a collision, the evil demon managed to escape. Next, the gangster boss and rough police and his men split up to chase the evil demon. Not long after, the aide managed to find the devil, but unfortunately, he received many stabs all over his body, so he was almost dying. Seeing his aide's dying condition, the gangster boss became even more furious and tried to catch the evil demon. Until arriving at a karaoke place, the gangster boss managed to find the evil devil and took him to headquarters to be tried for all his heinous deeds.
살인범이지.